Hey friends, it's Ashley and I'm excited to join you today with my first process video for the A Cherry on Top design team. I received the All Heart collection from Crate Paper. It's one of my new favorites, and so I wanted to create a layout with it today. And I'm getting started with the 6x8 paper pad and punching out some circles. And I'm just going to cut or punch some of these out here from these pattern papers that I tore out, and I also have some off of the side that I punched. And I'm going to use these to create some folded kind of flowerettes on my layout. And so you can see I've got a variety of pattern papers and colors here that I'm going to be using. I always love the 6x6 or 6x8 paper pads because they are fun for creating small little things on your layouts or for backing cut files. So what I'm doing is just folding the edges of these circles, and I'm creating like a 90-degree angle just on one side. And I'm going to do that with four that I'm going to put together for like a little kind of circly flower or whatever you want to call it kind of shape thing. And you could use like a paper scorer if you wanted to for this. I just decided to wing it and use my fingernails. And just go with it like this. So you can see how that comes together, and it creates kind of like a fun little flower shape in the center. And you can see I had that 12 by 12 star paper. That was kind of my original one that I wanted to use, but I thought the patterns got too lost with the stars. So I decided to go with this more solid pink paper that has kind of like dotted lines going across. And I have all of these arranged, and I'm going to just adhere each of these to the layout, the background paper. And if you wanted to, you could also punch these from 12 by 12 paper that is double-sided if you wanted your little folded flaps to have pattern. I actually like the white because it kind of gives a break. And so I'm just going to trim away the excess here of these that were around the edges. But I really like the way that that turned out, and I think it looks really cute. And you could also stitch around those if you wanted to. I wanted the actual texture to stand up, so I did not stitch over those. And I want to add my photos, so I'm going to use some of the foam behind it just to stand it up a little bit. And I placed it in kind of one of those open spaces. I intentionally kind of shifted the shapes a little bit to have that extra space right there for my photo. There are a lot of fun embellishments for this collection. I really liked these kind of epoxy thickers, and the Go Girl title made a perfect title for my layout, so I wanted to use that there with the photo. And then the ephemera pack has so many pieces in it. Like, there are a ton of pieces in this ephemera pack. So I definitely wanted to use the sunglasses because I thought this photo of my niece wearing her sunglasses was really cute. And those are kind of sometimes an embellishment that's in a collection, like a summer collection, and I don't always necessarily use those, but I thought they went really perfectly with this layout. So I'm just kind of showing you some of the pieces that are in this ephemera pack. Like I said, there are a lot of pieces, so it was hard to choose which ones I wanted to use. I'm kind of trying to choose embellishments that I can layer over the shaped pieces that don't get lost in all of the pattern. And I am using some of the foam to add dimension to some of those pieces. And you can find all of this in the Cherry on Top store. If you haven't visited, there are lots of new collections over there that you can pick up, so make sure you go over and check that out. There is a gallery, so you can share any of your layouts. There's also like a member forum board if you would like to chat with some other scrapbookers. So if you haven't been over there, I will leave a link in the description box below so you can check that out. And I'll also leave links to this All Heart collection from Crate Paper there. So I'm basically kind of now just going through the collection just to see what I want to embellish with. You can see there are kind of some silver shiny pieces that are really fun. So I've added two of those, the word hey and then the little circle with the heart. And I do add one more of those just to kind of create balance. These are clear stickers, and I really like the clear stickers because they always add like a rub-on look to your layout without it being rub-ons. And I just added these directly to the background paper like they were. If you wanted them to stand out a little bit more, you could put them over some white cardstock and then trim around those. But I tried to use them in places where I knew that the transparency wouldn't get lost in a pattern. So I didn't want to have that white background behind it. I did want it to have that kind of clear look. So the pattern paper that I use for my background allows me to add these pieces just right over it without them getting lost. And the puffy stickers are really cute. I love how they're kind of small. A lot of the collections lately have a lot of big pieces. Like you can see a lot of the big tags and square pieces there that came from the ephemera pack. And sometimes those pieces just end up being really big for me because I tend to use a lot of cut files on my layouts, which is usually my large element. So I usually like to have smaller kind of embellishments to add around the layout, just to kind of get everything the way that I want it to look. So I wanted to use one of the white flowers, and it had the leaves, but I decided that once I cut it, it was just blending in too much, so I decided to go with the pink one instead, and I liked the way that that looked much better. It stood out a little bit more against that background paper. And here's the other silver piece. This one says Girl Power. And these are a little bit difficult to photograph when you're photographing your layouts. But I think I got a pretty good photograph of it at the end. And I am adding my date with the Heidi Swap date stamp. And I kind of got to a point there where I was like, do I want to add anything else? And so that was why I added my date, because I usually do that at the end. And then I decided I wanted to embellish just a little bit more. And I totally forgot while I was working, I had the chipboard sheet off to the right hand side of my camera, and I did forget to add some of those. So at the end of the video, when you see my finished layout here, I did add some of the chipboard pieces from that sheet. So I hope you enjoyed watching today. Like I said, I will leave links for you to check out all of the collection from the A Cherry on Top store. I hope you got some inspiration from my layout, and I look forward to seeing you next time.